Hello, everyone. We are here with Maria from Colombia, who's going to tell us a little bit about her time at FIU and in the Career Accelerator program. So, Maria, I'll let you take it away. Go ahead and just introduce yourself, what your major is, what your goals are, anything you want to share about yourself.
Okay, hello everybody. Thank you, Jen, for inviting me. Well, as Jen mentioned, I'm from Colombia. I was an international student at FIU, majoring in hospitality management and marketing. As of right now, I want to finish my career, but because of coronavirus and all that stuff, that hasn't been possible. However, I'm working on building up a hotel, my own hotel right now, which is I wish being come through. I don't know how to explain that, but it's really exciting for me to be on the process already of making that wish come true. I've also traveled and I'm making up the student time the best out of it, because I've been able to travel, I've been able to learn, I've been able to do some internships, to work, to get some student life as well. So it's been really interesting.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. You've accomplished a lot so far. And I'm curious if you wouldn't mind just backing up a little bit to your very first semester at FIU and just share with us, what were you feeling at the time and what were some of the biggest challenges that you were facing?
Well, as I mentioned before, I was an international student, so definitely just adapting to Miami, the university, the style, because it was very different from what I experienced in Colombia before. So at first then they always told me you have to get into clubs and organizations so that you get to make some friends. And that was true, because I understood that at FIU, at least, people just come and go for classes and then just go for classes and then they go out to their jobs and their families and their school friends or whatever. So when you're in international, you don't have all that kind of same experience or occupations. So it was different for me. Definitely at being at global, it was way much different because we were all together. However, making friends at first was a little bit difficult. So a lot of organizations, and then everybody had a job. So I was like, oh, I have to look for a job. And then as an international, it was difficult. So that was a little of my preoccupations at the beginning.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing. And it sounds like you face a lot of the challenges that a lot of our first semester global first year students are facing currently and will in the future. You mentioned that you wanted to join activities, you wanted to get a job, and one of the things that you participated in early on was the Career Accelerator program. So tell us a little bit about how you first heard about the program and what was it that kind of drew your interest and why did you decide to join?
Well, I heard it from you actually. You did like an information session for all the kind of international students who were coming to the school. At the time, I had already joined a fraternity, which is AKSI. It's a business fraternity, and one of the things that we work on was our resume on getting some jobs and professional experience. So at at that time, I was so worried because I had no idea how a resume looked like. I had seriously zero idea how I should make one. So, especially in English, because I figured it was quite different doing a resume here in Colombia than a resume in the US, and it's completely different. So I like that you mentioned about having your resume made done, having some interviews, and of course, as well, the thing that I liked the most was maybe getting an internship, and I actually did, and it was a great experience.
Great. I'm glad you decided to do that. And tell us a little bit about, you mentioned you learned how to build the resume and you prepared for your experience. Just share a little bit about what it's like to be in the Career Accelerator program and what do you think were some of the most valuable things that you got out of
Okay, so have you ever seen or read the book of Freedom Writers?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Okay, well,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
definitely. Well, kind of like the Career Accelerator program was like the classroom 2, 3 for the Freedom Writers. It's like a safe place where you can just like express or your worries and the things that you're looking forward to, and then just like direct all your focus and energy in the right direction. So that was kind of the experience for me. And then just like realizing a lot of things that you think you know but you really don't know, like in your future, like where exactly do you want to work, for who do you want to work, or what exactly do you want to do. At least for me, well, once you go into a school, like you of course want to go work for someone and be a really like nice executive in a well-known company. um, Kind of like I didn't like that. I'm more like an entrepreneur type of person. So it was like realizing exactly what I was going to do after school. I had some goals, and then just like focusing on how should I build that, and I figured out it was a hotel. Now I'm doing it, and hopefully um, it's gonna come true soon.
I'm sure that it will, Maria. Absolutely. So you got a little bit of clarity, maybe on the direction you wanted to go, maybe who you are, and what are some things that you've achieved since then, since you completed the Career Accelerator program? So what are some jobs maybe you've had, and what are you uh, working on now?
Well, first thing I got out of it was an internship with Lauren. I still talk to her. She's really nice, and that was my first like internship in the US. Then I got another internship because well, at that time it was not a requirement, but then it was to go into the um, career fair. And then there I went with my resume and all that stuff, and I got my second um, internship that was at a marketing agency. And there I find out I didn't like the digital part of marketing. So it was really cool. And later on, of course, like just like developing myself and knowing who I was, what were my core values, my strengths and my weaknesses, and then just working on those. It helped me go to many other places, coming back to Colombia, developing my parents' dream, and then going to Switzerland, um, studying and working. And it was actually, Switzerland was like the hardest experience of my whole life. It was really hard just because of the language. And now I cannot imagine some people coming to the US and not knowing English very well. So I completely lived through that experience in Switzerland.
Great, fantastic. Thank you for sharing. You just right out of the Career Accelerator got that first internship with Lauren, still in communication with her, and she's probably mentored you in some form or fashion. Got
Mhm.
another internship at the career fair, then all that prepared you and qualified you for those experiences that you had in Switzerland and everything you've had in between. I know that there was a couple things that you left out.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
it's so much, can't fill it all up, I think. Um,
Mhm.
but one final question for you is, for the first semester global first year students who might be coming up now or in the future, who are maybe have some career goals, maybe not sure about the direction, not sure how to make a resume, have some of the similar problems for you, and they hear about the Career Accelerator program, but they're not sure if they want to participate, not sure maybe if they have enough time. What advice do you have for those students?
Well, um, so when we go to college, we think the most important thing about going to college is having good grades and then just passing all their subjects and all that stuff. And at the end, I just figured out that's the least important thing about going to college. So most important thing is like what you make out of the time at college. So who you meet, because you never know who that person's going to be in the future, and how are you going to relate. Maybe you're going to make a business with that person, or maybe that person's going to hire you. And then as well, like, so many students are graduating now from everywhere in the world, and you're competing with all of them. So having good grades is not enough anymore. So it's important that you start building on your experience, because at the end, that's what's gonna give you the most value when you're at a job interview, or when you are building on your own business. At the end, I just from Career Accelerator, I just learned more about myself, and I figure out my mission. That it's like, just know, at the end of my life, I just wanna be known as someone that empowers other women, and that's what I learned from it, and I'm very happy about it.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that, Maria. And I can't wait to hear the future stories of how you're working on different projects that impact women's empowerment in different ways. And I know that I'll hear those stories in the future. But thank you so much, and really good advice for our students. And I hope that our listeners have been as inspired by your story as I have throughout the years. And I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
No, thank you, Jen, for inviting me. And please join. It's going to be great. And especially if you're with John, like, he has become a mentor to me. It's been inspiring through all these last years.
Fantastic.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Jen.
much for that. I'm looking forward to continuing our relationship as well in the future.
Thank you.
Take care.